Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome back to the New Year edition. Yes, we've been gone for a month or so, just trying to get everything right. We are the three, not so wise men talking wrestling. Got our boy here, Audie in his Hill figure shirt. Got me, your boy CT. Chris is still just playing video games, playing Ragnarok. So check out his Twitch channel.
Yeah.
And like, this we thought that this last year was crazy. 2023 just said, hold my beer.
Yeah.
First off, we need to do a quick talk about the new Mercedes Mone, the CEO.
Yeah.
She debuted in New Japan Pro Wrestling. She will be facing Kairi Sane at the San Jose New Japan Strong event. Since that's the only match that is on the card as of right now, and there's only 30 tickets left for the show.
Okay. Question with that, because I saw somewhere the New Japan Strong, that's their American thing, right?
Yes.
That's being kind of taken away though, right?
Nothing I know of.
All right. So I will find that because I saw rumors that New Japan Strong is ending because they're getting ready to do something else with the American side of everything.
They might be rebranding it, or who knows. But Mercedes Mone is now New Japan Strong. Let's just say that. I will say everybody was pissed on this week's Dynamite because everybody thought that was going to be Saraya's tag partner.
Yeah.
And then everybody's not really pissed at Sheeta because I get where Sheeta's coming from. Like, yo, you had me on TV making me look stupid. Nah, I'm about to screw y'all up. Here, Britt. Here's the kendo stick.
She didn't do that. Like, here, Britt, here's the kendo stick. She tossed it in the middle. And yeah, it was a heel move. So I see the turn happening. But yeah, it's she played it off like, what have I done? Yeah, I know what's happening. And if she joins the faction, even if she turns heel, for her to not be so happy, is probably something that is welcomed right now.
Mm-hmm.
Her stop smiling and all of that, and maybe she does a crazy Oscar impersonation, and I don't mean impersonation like, oh, she's gonna just take on that mantle. Yeah, I got you. But she literally just be like, she turned psycho. She has a mental breakdown, and I think that honestly will probably be one of the best things. But I don't think her being a face is going to last too much longer. But yeah, we were seriously upset with Mercedes Mone not being at AEW. I was expecting it when they finally went through with the tag. When they finally went through with it being Toni Storm,
Mm-hmm.
what I thought was going to happen was that she was going to be injured. Let me make sure I'm in there. Injured by Hikaru. But and then Mercedes will come out, but that didn't happen. So I was like, okay, well maybe she's gonna turn heel because that was my thought. And then Mercedes is gonna come in and save her, but that didn't happen. And so I say, okay, this must be a slow burn.
Yeah. Well, I guess from reports after the trios title match, the lights had went dark, and everybody thought that it was going to be Mercedes Mone. And then they just showed up the Rampage sign, and everybody just started booing. It's like I feel like a lot of people said the same thing that if Britt wouldn't have said the boss last week, that a lot of people would have like, oh, okay, let it fall by the wayside. But the fact that AEW has always done this, where they don't necessarily mention someone's name, but they kind of mention like their monikers or stuff that they've said.
Yeah,
That's what got people thinking that it was going to be Mercedes. But hey,
it's
oh
not
well.
right. And so it's gonna be Saraya and Tony going for a minute, and then with Jamie beefing with Jamie, and then we get a Hikaru Shida heel turn, and that is probably going to be awesome. And we're going to forget the fact that Mercedes Monet wasn't going to be there, and that's when she was going to come out. Like, oh yeah, y'all thought that this wasn't going to happen, but surprise, bitches.
And
But yeah,
then we also had the best of seven trios title match finish, where the Elite won the trios title, and
mm-hmm.
we already know who they're going to be feuding with next.
Who are they feuding with next?
The House of Black.
Okay, I can see
And
that.
well, the only reason why I say that is because when the House of Black returned, they attacked Brandon Cutler and put him through a table.
Okay,
So that's
yeah,
why I'm like, and then they did some type of promo, and I was just like, oh yeah, yeah, they're calling them out. I can't wait.
yeah. And this would be something solid. Um,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm glad that they took a step away and then came back fully refreshed because I got tired of all of their beefs, whether it was with Death Triangle or what was the other group? Darby, Sting, and whoever they decided to tag team with at that moment. Like it was getting very tiring, and it seemed like they was just going in circles with everything. So now
Which
that this is a legitimate beef, I mean, it's gonna happen soon. I would like that.
they
There's
are
not.
wrestling tonight, Ortiz and
Mhm.
Eddie Kingston, which they are seeming like they're about to break up, and that Eddie may or may not be joining the House of Black.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about him joining the House of Black, but all right, yeah. But
And then,
I think that they need to hold on recruiting, and we need to get some more trios back together. Like,
yeah, because in the beginning, when they first started mentioning like the trios tournament, we had so many trios,
yeah,
and now we have a few.
yeah, we got the Elite, we got Death Triangle, we got Nightmare or the Factory. They will have a trio in there. I think you would do the firm in there, but who would you put in there?
Um,
You don't want to do Ethan Page right now because Ethan Page is about to be
well,
getting ready
technically,
for a push.
and he's doing this stuff with Matt Hardy. I would put. I was gonna say the Ass Boys, the Guns, and maybe Lee Moriarty.
Maybe. Then you got who teamed with what's his name? The new cat that's in there. I can't remember his name. I haven't seen him enough, but he just put on a dog ass match with Swerve. He had a
Oh,
match.
oh, Air Fox.
Yeah, AR
Air Fox
Fox
and Top Gun or Top
with
Flight.
Top Flight. That would probably be one. But they need to revamp that because honestly, like the best friends, I mean, I
I feel
was
like they're about to break up. They're setting like seeds of a
mhm.
breakup.
So it's like there's too much. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
can still do best friends. I mean, if they are separating from Orange Cassidy, you still got oh boy
Ron
from
Harrison.
Roppongi, huh? Nah, Danhausen, it would be Danhausen. It would be some quirky group like Danhausen, Orange Cassidy, and Hook for a trio. Like that'd be the craziest one. But what's old boy from Roppongi Vice?
Ricky Romero.
Ricky Romero. Yeah, or Rocky Romero. Him being with the best friends would probably be that trio then.
Yeah, because I believe him and Trent
Or like
are are the Roppongi Vice within New Japan.
right. And yeah, but there's so much stuff with that, and they need to revamp that. Man, and speaking of that, I just really want to say, Scorpio Sky, I hope you're doing well. I miss you with SCU. Y'all was fucking phenomenal. Y'all was amazing. Get well. I just really wanted to say that because he's been on my mind lately.
So,
Like, man, I miss seeing him. He was fucking awesome.
now, are you ready to talk about the match of the night from Dynamite?
I mean, we could talk about it. I only got to see part of it. I missed like the first hour. So first of all, wait, before we do that.
Oh yeah. Let's go, baby.
Yes, he made his return. So I just want to say shout out to him. It's good to see you on TV. I'm glad that you're doing better. I can't wait to see you wrestle. I
Yes.
missed you too. So seeing that you made a return was fucking awesome.
Seeing that you made a full recovery for the longest time, people didn't think that he'd be able to come back.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing that he is fully healthy, because I guess there were times where he couldn't sit in a vehicle for too long without being car sick.
Yeah.
He couldn't lay in bed for too long without like feeling like something's wrong. So the fact that he is fully healed, and that's like concussions are those one things where they say, "Oh, you'll be fine in a certain amount of time," but we're messing with the brain.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very like rough. That's why leaving wrestling for a minute, Tua's not going to be playing this weekend.
Yeah, because Adam Cole had multiple concussions back to back. He came back from one a little too quick and caught another one. So
And then he still, I guess he had like issues with his arm as well or shoulder that he needed to get taken care of. So it's,
and if memory serves me correct, because concussions is a horrible thing. Yeah. But Joik Bell from the Detroit Lions had to retire early because he was getting a lot of concussions. Like it is a serious thing. So I just really want everybody to get well. We didn't have a lot of injuries last year, and I hope that this year doesn't bring that much. I hope that this is the year of recovery.
Yes.
So, but match of the night.
Daniel Bryan versus Takeshita.
That's all part of that.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch it because I was usually I work like during the time of Rampage or Dynamite, but I had just got off at 8 o'clock. So I was trying to rush somewhere to watch it, but it was already over before I got home.
Yeah.
And it was just what I saw on TV, Takeshita. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They was going at it.
People are somewhat like, oh, he keeps losing all this time, but he is showing like why everybody has been supporting him since he entered.
Yeah.
Like AEW. And they put on a hell of a match. And just that one clothesline from the top rope where they tried to do the cradle, he switched it to a sit out. I forget what kind of pile driver it is. Just doing that into the German suplex. Whew.
Yeah.
Whew, yep. I see Takeshita like getting a huge push in 2023. we all know that Daniel Bryan wasn't going to lose because it's setting up his match against MJF.
Yeah.
But I'm also highly looking forward to MJF versus Daniel Bryan in our Iron. That is going to possibly be match of the night. But then knowing how AEW pay-per-views go, with them being like 7 hours long, I already know I'm going to get exhausted like before the match even starts.
Yeah.
And then just last week's back and forth between Bryan Danielson and I said it right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And MJF just automatically is like, all right, I want to see that match.
Yeah, because it's gonna be crazy because MJF ain't last nowhere near that long.
I think he's done 30 to 45 minutes before though.
Was it the dog collar match?
I believe so.
Yeah, but he ain't had no choice then. But for him to now, like, and I see where this is gonna go, and I'm really excited for it. I can't wait. This will either legitimize MJF as a wrestler more than just a heel, or he is going to be known as the biggest heel to the point where he almost have go home heat. Because if he does what he's supposed to do, like as a heel, he's not going to do a lot of wrestling. But if he does,
he's going to do a lot of Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second.
Yep. But we also switching up from AEW, going to move over to the WWE. We're going to talk about the best thing within the WWE right now. And I am not talking about Sami Zayn, because he's the best thing in SmackDown. I'm talking about the best thing on Raw. Dominic Mysterio.
Man, he a gangster for real. I've been trying to tell y'all. He ain't bad. Prison changed him.
Prison Mike.
Yeah.
Coming out looking like Conan.
He looking like he was straight from blood in, blood out. Man, that was fucking awesome. I do want to say something. I can't remember who said it. I believe it was one of the dudes from What Culture Wrestling, where they said, we all know the joke. He wasn't in jail long. The writers don't need to write it. Now, I agree with that because
they've already said it though.
Yeah, I know. The Miz has said it. He was only there, yeah. And they shouldn't have written it. Like, because it kind of made you feel like they think that you're stupid. But now, I will say this. If them saying it is the running joke, then it might get over. Because if they say it like everybody that he gets into a beef with, and he's talking about, this, that, and the third, it would be like when Cole say, I gotta go to work. And you ain't got no job. No, Tommy. I said Cole. My bad, Tommy. You ain't got no job, Tommy. Yeah, it can.
It's like, I'm hard. I was in jail. You weren't.
No, but he has to play it off like it was something that like it's an everyday conversation. Like, he's just talking like, man, because y'all can't be doing that because when I was locked up, you was like, like that. He can't be like, yeah, I'm hard on this and that. And they be like, man, you this, that, third. When he does his hard stuff, let him just stay hard because we laughing at the fact that we know how much time. But once you start doing it as, yeah, man, because there's things I learned when I was in prison. It was this, that, and the third. You couldn't do this. And they'd be like, you learned all of that in 20 minutes? Like,
I learned how to make it shank. And I know how to make that jail wine. What y'all know about that jail wine?
Yeah, they tried to phone check me. Like, it was in central booking. Calm down.
You were in a holding cell.
Right. Hey, you was in what is the public? Hey, general public, gen pop, general population. Calm down, sir. Dominic. But yeah, he
Still the best thing on Raw right now.
yeah, and you used to hate him.
Oh no, I still am annoyed by him. But I feel like it's now that he's not being that obnoxious person, and they've finally kind of given him an actual character. He's still gonna have that go home heat.
Oh yeah,
It's still just like
he earned it.
yeah,
Yeah, he earned it. That's what they say in writing. When you earn the plot or you earn the character change. But yeah, Dominic, it is. I will say this: it is great that wrestling does not have to just rely on one act in WWE. There's a lot of stories that had went on that just all flew up under the radar that just didn't stick, and then we was just focused on this one thing. But now, sorry, but now what I was just saying is that it's great that wrestling has gone into where you don't have to focus on one WWE, you don't have to focus on one storyline.
yeah.
Like normally there's one big storyline and then everybody else just fall by the wayside. They try to put them in stories, but it ain't that compelling. Like, but with this one, it's like, okay, you got the bloodline story. You got Sami Zayn and the underlying story between him and Kevin Owens because that is still going on. They tried to do it with the Miz, but yeah, they should have had a lot more matches that happen after that. But now they got Dominic adding on to Judgment Day. And then you also got Bray Wyatt's story that's going on. Like there's a lot of stories that are just happening to where if you're not even paying attention to this, you're looking forward to this. And it's really been a minute for WWE.
Well, even with the Bray Wyatt, they got the Bray Wyatt's like story with Uncle Howdy, Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight within the pitch black, whatever match. Then you have Uncle Howdy and Alexa Bliss. So they're entwining stuff. Hell, you still have the Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio stuff.
Yeah.
So everything is entwining not on just one show, but through multiple shows.
Yeah. Because let's say something happened in something happens and Sammy is not able to perform. They can say, all right, let's call this audible. Let's give these people more TV time. And you just and the fans wouldn't know the wiser until they hear the news that Sammy was supposed to be at SmackDown, but this happened, so he couldn't make it, so they substitute this time. And then all we will say as fans of the story is, oh, that was good. I'm glad that they did that because I wasn't expecting so we are at that point with them. Which kind of is bad news for AEW, and I don't really want to put it as a competition. But since Triple H is taking over, there's been a run of AEW having lackluster as far as things that sticks. But since the beginning of the year and their new change, and I do want to go into this. I like how AEW looks as far as how they're expanding, because when they first did it, they had the projectors as one thing, but then they had the original AEW stuff, and I was like, what is going on? But this week they got the barricades and all of that to look different and everything. So I was like, cool, maybe something happened last week and they didn't get it on time. But now that they got it, it looks uniform. It looks nice. And since the beginning of the year, since their 2 weeks, they've been telling their AEW event, their Dynamite events have been kind of fucking awesome. Yeah, and we was kind of missing that.
Yeah.
But WWE has been on this run since before SummerSlam. And I'm glad that we are getting good wrestling from both brands.
Yes. Hell, even Impact Wrestling has been putting on like some great shows
I've been
because they've
to.
had a few here in I'm sorry, Indy in Orlando
Mhm.
that a lot of my friends have went to. One of my buddies, he refs for Impact Wrestling,
Okay.
and yeah, I've just been watching some of it when I'm here. I'm able to pull up a few other episodes, and I've watched a few of them. And I'm like, okay, Impact's
Mhm.
really putting forth their best effort. Like they've always tried, but it's always been management issues. But now
Yeah.
that management is more concise, they're able to put on a better product.
Okay. All right.
But should we get to the big news?
No, just one more thing.
Okay.
Before the big news, Chris Jericho, independent appearance. He did it at an indie promo in California. What was it? It was
PG or PWG?
yeah. He did the performance, and I want to give a shout out to Michael Oku, who was also there. I did this last man standing match that is on the channel right now. You can check it out. Matter of fact, you can like, comment, subscribe, tell us what you think about what's going on. But Michael Oku, watch that last man standing match. Watch the original because I did have technical difficulties, so y'all did miss out on something. And it was kind of like my favorite part, which made me a fan of him. And then he actually wrestled against Chris Jericho in that match in California.
Okay.
So shout out to Michael Oku. He's making waves. Hopefully, get to see him on something like a Dynamite or shit. He even making an appearance on NXT. Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to him in that situation, of course, because when Chris Jericho make moves, it's kind of big because honestly, since he's been signed with AEW before that match, he only did one independent appearance. So he don't do too many.
Yeah.
So for him to show out in California, him to get everybody over, him to get that promotion over, round of applause to him. But I want to give a shout out to Michael Oku. He's really making a name for himself. He was like 106 of the top 200 wrestlers last year. So he's on that climb. And he put on a 5-star match with Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
So
Which it's not that hard to do because Will Ospreay is awesome.
Will Ospreay is awesome, but him being Will Ospreay puts on a good match, period. But when he gets somebody that can also put on a great match, that's when it's an automatic 5-star. And for Michael Oku to get a 5-star match with him, and that lets you know how well he is, how easy he is to work with, how willing he is to either get put over or just as a wrestling fan put on a great match and put everything out. So again, shout out to Michael Oku, the OJMO. You was making names, brother. Proud of you. I know I don't know you, but I'm proud of you. Can't wait to see you on a big stage soon.
There's one group on MLW that I've really been getting into too.
Mm-hmm.
I know I posted about them, but can't really find them right now. So, whew, speaking of the WWE, though,
Yeah, we got to get into this.
yeah. So
it's only been 13 days into the new year.
Yeah, like it started off with you sending the press release of Stephanie stepping down as co-CEO and chairwoman. Well, no, it didn't even start.
No, it started before that. All right,
it started with
Vince threatening to hold his 81% over everybody's head, saying that he will not make a final decision until he is reinstated back into the WWE.
And I don't even think that was on. I think that was just for the TV deal.
It was any deal.
Oh, okay.
So it was for the TV, but he also made reference towards the sale. But they also put out a letter to the board saying that Vince will be making a return, not to the board, but to the whatever bureau that is over them. I can't remember the name right now. That Vince will be making a return just to facilitate the sale of WWE, possible sale of WWE. Right? So that happened. He came back as I can't remember the term. Yeah, he came back. He came back. No, I think it was Friday of last week.
I know two of the board members got forced out.
Yep.
Which then he brought two of his people, which is weird because he fired those two people.
Yeah, he did
last year.
Okay, so I'll get into that. But what happened was he came back as a chairperson. WWE holds an emergency meeting, and they said the day today. Actually, I got this. So, but they said that the day today will not change the management.
Yeah.
So 4 days later, we get Stephanie McMahon resigning. And the board that he got 2 fired and 2 resigned. One of the ones that resigned, I can't remember his name. One of the ones that resigned was over the investigation of.
Yeah.
Right. So Stephanie steps down. Nick Khan is the sole CEO. He's not, there's no co-CEO, he's still the CEO. And Vince McMahon the board named unanimously now, because there's the majority Vince people unanimously voted for him to be, I want to say, executive chair.
Yeah.
But what happened hours later, there was rumors that Vince had already sold WWE to Saudi.
Mm-hmm. That was going like ham on every bit of social media.
Yes. So for anybody that wants an in-depth discussion, check out Vince McMahon Shakes Up 2023. It is an article written by me on behalf of the Three Wise Men Not Talking Wrestling, and it's on the Shalina Speaks blog. So it's shalinaspeaks.com. Comments will be the link will be in the comments and the description. So if you want to check out like everything that has happened so far, that is what goes on. I even stepped out because I didn't get anything confirmed about them selling to Saudi, to the Saudi Arabia public investment funds.
Yeah.
So I put it down as that, but then I preface it with anything that any sale that is going to happen is technically going to take possibly about 3 months, because I want to let you know, I want to let everybody know a sale of a company that is worth $1 billion is not going to happen in a day. They need to make sure that the finances is correct. They need to make sure that not just finances, but accounting, where the bills and everything's going. They need to make sure that everything is correct. And everybody with the scandal that's going on, they need to make sure that whatever happens or could possibly come out is already in order before the purchase of the proprietary product. Mm-hmm. So, but because that's another thing. After the rumors of the sale, it came out that is not confirmed, that is not accurate. But something else happened. Vince McMahon has been sued for basically, allegedly, abuse of power. So Now, that could possibly hinder the sale and go take it from the 3 to 6 months that they originally said that could possibly happen, because he got JP Morgan to look over everything to help facilitate the sale. If it takes 3 months, 4 months, 5 months now with litigation going on, what's going to happen is that Vince is going to sell for a hell of a lot less than what he wanted to.
Yeah.
And he may lose whatever power he thought he was going to have. But if you don't sell it right away, you're looking at this thing to play out for over a year. Because when litigation comes in, they're going to go through the finances of the company. They're going to go through everything of the company. And whatever is going to come out, whatever that little thing that people think is going on with Vince McMahon that is supposedly going to be coming out soon, because there's rumors that there's something else that the board knows that they haven't let out that could possibly come out soon. If that is found in the discovery or whatever they call it, because I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah.
So this is not legal advice. This is just stuff that I've seen. If anything happens and they find that information, it is going to come out. It is going to put a halt on whatever sale, or it's going to be a fire sale. That fire sale is going to buy for a couple $100 million. And honestly, if they sell to a private company like Tony Khan or the Saudis, that takes it off the stock exchange.
Well, I have a couple of the so-called companies who people believe are in the running. We have Comcast, which Comcast is a subsidiary of NBC.
Yep.
Which that's where they have
Peacock.
Peacock. So that seems like everybody's like the front runner. We have Disney,
who also owns Fox, by the way, which is where SmackDown is on.
Yep. We have Amazon, which
I
can see that happening. Netflix, the Endeavor Group, which they hold UFC, the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, which everybody's been going on the hoot and holler about. And then they had someone said Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And then they also have Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, his money not long enough. Sorry.
Well, no, with Dwayne, he would have just get some backers.
Oh yeah. If it's Dwayne, it's probably going to be a couple of more Los Angeles guys like Magic Johnson. And if he gets Magic Johnson to back him, that will be a legitimate buy. There's also Tony Khan. But give me, and I want you to do this for me. Give me two that would be two companies that you just stated that you think would be a horrible decision to sell to.
Let's see. I would say Amazon would be a bad one. Just because not a lot of people have the Amazon network. So that would probably be a bad one. And honestly, the Saudi Arabia fund. Because a lot of people, even a lot of wrestlers, said that if they sold to them, they wouldn't work there anymore.
Yeah.
Like, because there would be a huge dilemma with the way that the women wrestle.
Yep.
Sami Zayn will probably leave.
Yeah.
Because of the Saudis' issue with Syria and how Sami is Syrian and he does a lot of aid for Syria. And yeah, I feel, because even when they do the Crown Jewels, there's always stuff about this. It's just being propaganda to get people to think that they are more up to date, even though they still are doing the same old, and don't believe in like people's rights.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna give you my two, and I'm gonna leave you. Okay, you got Amazon and Saudi Arabia, and I agree. Those would be two bad ones. I got two that I think would be horrible decisions. That'll be Netflix, and that'll be Tony Khan. Okay. The reason why I say Netflix, it goes to the whole thing about streaming. One of the worst things about having Peacock when it comes to WWE is that you can't watch Raw live. You got to watch the replay. Now, Netflix is trying this new thing with Chris Rock doing a live performance on Netflix. So everybody has to tune in on that day. The issue is that is a one-time event. You are doing a weekly show.
And can their broadband or whatever network handle it?
I'm not even worried about that because I believe that they got enough money that they could handle it for a short period of time.
Chris Rock one is going to have some glitches.
If they do, then that is very telling. But if they don't, I think that for a short period of time, yes, they will have it. And they will have the bandwidth for live events every week. But for all the good that it would be, like all of your archive stuff will be on there. Now you're going to be conflicting with NBC and whatever contract, right? Right. But here's the biggest thing. Netflix is treading water already. Yeah. They're doing what Blockbuster did to when Netflix hopped on the scene with the streaming service. They was a little behind, and now that they're losing money because all of these other companies with their own intellectual property is taking all of their stuff off of Netflix, they're sinking. They're the original content that they do have, some of it is good. For a brief period of time, their stuff couldn't last 3 seasons.
But then they just cut it.
Then they'll cut it off. Nowhere. Right. But now you're doing that. Y'all made it a big thing for everybody to share their login information a couple years back. Now you're trying to block everybody from sharing it with their friends or their grandparents that watches Netflix in Detroit when you live in Florida. You're blocking that because, hey, this is my grandma, and like all of that is going on. And now instead of just keeping your price at a regular level, y'all raised the price and then added a version that has ads.
Yeah.
When the last time that we had a streaming service that had ads, it was Hulu, and you could watch it for free with ads because you was getting the ad revenue from it. And then if you wanted to just watch it without the ads, they did that. But for a good long while, Hulu had show TV that was free as long as you can sit through the ads. Adding that is not good because honestly, most people pay to bypass.
Not see ads. Yeah.
I mean,
if we want ads, we would just watch TV.
Right. That's the point. And YouTube has even gotten rid of, you pay for the premium, you get the ad, no ads. You get to listen to your stuff while your phone is charging and it's closed off. You can still listen to, like, they even added benefits to it. Y'all are going backwards. So now I'm about to pay $6 something a month to watch TV, to watch Raw with ads. I mean,
I don't know how they would even be able to do like a live Raw without having ads, because the ads are uh what make segments kind of split.
Yeah, yeah. No, and honestly, you can if you have Netflix and you can do all the ads that you want of Netflix stuff because you this is your company. You're paying and you want everybody to know what new TV show is happening. You want to know, you want to let them know what new movie is coming to Netflix and all of that. Y'all can do that as a segment. But now I got all of this and then I got to do that. So that's one of the reasons why Netflix is bad for a bad decision for me. Is the logistic of it all. Tony, I think that him holding on to WWE would be a bad decision because if we're looking, if let's say the only saving grace would be the fact that he might keep the original staff. Keeps the original staff and he treats it like if he does everything that Vince didn't do when he got control of WCW, it could work. Yeah. That is a big if. Now, if he's running it like the way that he's running AEW now, you got people that ain't as happy with not having Showtime. Y'all already got a roster that is entirely too big for your network right now, for your program right now. Y'all tried the YouTube thing. It's doing okay. I won't say that it's not working. It is doing okay. But the biggest issue is the TV revenue. There's a reason why MLW and other sites like that is trying to get on TV. Because that TV ad revenue space, that market, the fact that you got to just keep everything on a weekly basis, the programming that is already established within that field, within that market, it is entirely too big to let go. And if he goes to Netflix, they lose that TV market. Because guess what? USA is not going to be making deals with
Netflix, a streaming service. Yeah. Because they're not making real money off of that.
No. And they got Peacock. USA is part of the Peacock brand.
Yep.
So why would I get you to have this network? I can actually, if that happens, I can probably work out a deal with Time Warner to give AEW a show for Monday. Yeah, we won't have the exclusive rights to it, but if we give them a show for Monday, that is that block that we're missing that we don't have to pay you to keep here when you're also trying to do it live here. And
they could easily do if WWE wants to go to Netflix, have AEW Dynamite on Monday, ROH on Wednesday, keep Rampage on Friday.
Yeah, they can seriously do that. So I think that Tony having a monopoly on it wouldn't be good for the wrestling business.
Yeah, no, not at all. A monopoly, because it wasn't when Vince had a monopoly on it. Yeah, it was all right, but for the long run, it wasn't good for wrestling because there weren't that many opportunities. Like it was just, it's WWE or nothing. Now you have places like Impact, you have places like AEW, you have WWE. Now we know more about New Japan, AAA, Noah.
And honestly, a lot of that is thanks to the internet. A lot of that is thanks to Tony Khan because he showcased a lot of people that didn't need it to be showcased, which is, even though I'm saying that it's a bad decision, he does run it like a wrestling fan. So there is a chance that even if he does get it, it can still be good because he does it for the love of wrestling, not the business of wrestling. So there is a chance. Who do you think would be the best service to go for a company
I
to.
would say keep it with Comcast, honestly. Like Comcast in general just buys it out, kind of like how Turner Entertainment or Turner Warner Studios bought WCW.
I will say, I think that would be the smart decision, because now with Turner having it, your Raw would, I mean, it stays home. It stays home. The issue would be Disney now, and I would put that as the second one. Like I agree with you that Comcast Universal would be great, but let's say Comcast Universal don't want to do it. Disney, for all of my worry, would be a great place for it to be, because I worry about them doing it up under the Disney brand, because they got to keep their brand a certain way. But I think somebody in Disney would be smart enough to say, no, this is not a Disney brand. This is a Fox brand. And because it's a Fox brand, you keep the things the exact same way. You can keep it to where it's going to TV 13 because it's Fox. You got SmackDown that is there. You can still work out a deal with. You could work out a deal with USA, but even if you don't work out with a deal with USA, you have all of those ESPN channels that you can turn into a mainstay for that.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. So Disney having WWE, of course, they would definitely make, even though I think it would be a mistake, they will make SmackDown the top brand and then Raw the B show. And with them making Raw the B show, they may lose it, but they can put it on ESPN. They can put it on FX. They can put it on any of the other companies any of the other networks that they do have. And because they have all of these networks to work on, it allows them to do a hell of a lot more. But they can also still work out a deal with USA that would keep that there. But honestly, the best choice would keep it with Universal. You already got your fan base there. You already got your audience. And I know I said fan base, but you got your consumers there. Anybody that already purchased Peacock, a lot of times get the pay-per-views and everything at that price anyway. And if ABC get it, if Disney gets it, you get it on Disney Plus, it's going to be hell to try to figure out how it doesn't go with the brand. It honestly doesn't. So that is literally my thought on who would be the best company to take it over. But I want to play a little devil's advocate. I know that I'm going on. I know that y'all are looking at me like, Darius, you have been very quiet about your conspiracy theories. Yes, I have. But that is honestly because I just wanted to shut the fuck up, because when stuff like this happens, I need everybody to understand that whoever gets it, if it isn't Vince McMahon, whoever gets it are going to look at the big deal. They're looking at the big picture. Listen, this year, I don't know if I called my shot, but this year is going to be the Forbidden Door year. By the end of the year, you will see a sanctioned WWE, AEW, two of them on the roster, big names on the roster. I won't even say big names. good names on the roster fighting it out on some type of pay-per-view. And I have no idea what pay-per-view that's going to be. But
I mean, they have had Shinsuke go against who did he go up against? Muda. Yeah, the great Muda. We had Carl Anderson going to New Japan, face Tomatonga. It was the same show that had
Kenny Omega,
FTR, Monet, Mercedes Mone.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're saying more on the American side.
Yes. I'm saying that it is going to happen by the end of this year. And because all of this, how can I say it? Triple H was on his way. Everybody and all that shit. Triple H was on his way to get this thing to happen. He's been trying so hard to make things work with WWE or whatever and AEW, but it always seems like it was something. And this New Japan
then it also depends on what's happening with this whole buy, sell, whatever.
I honestly don't think, and I know that I said it, Tony might keep, if he bought it, he might keep everybody, and if he keeps everybody, that's good. My whole thing is that the staff that is here is going to stick with anybody outside of the Saudi Arabia public investment funds. I think that anybody else that is willing to make this purchase is going to keep everybody where they are. They're going to try to get back Stephanie, but Triple H is where he's at. And with Triple H being where he's at, it's going to happen. But yeah, that is.
But also going back to the whole Stephanie thing, supposedly Nick Khan has been the buffer between her and her dad, because supposedly she hasn't been getting along work-wise with her dad, and a buffer between Trips and Vince.
Yeah, I see that.
And everybody's saying it's like, yo, if they fire Sean, Triple H is not too far from leaving.
Yeah. I think that lawsuit put a halt to anything that Vince thought about doing.
God.
Yeah, I think that lawsuit.
No, they're showing Cody Rhodes again, and it's of his pec.
But yeah, I think that lawsuit put a halt because it was going to be a movement of people immediately. The way Vince is moving right now, everything was about to happen quickly. And I think that he brought those board members back, was just in case something like this happens. Because he can say, I'm not working in for the best interest of me. I'm working in for the best interest of the company, because I didn't like these guys as far as probably where I was going with everything. But what they said to me before they was fired lines up with what's going on now with the selling.
Yeah.
So I'm doing it for the best interest of the company. But I truly believe that if this lawsuit didn't happen, Vince would be head of creative right now. And I'm so glad that it's not. I'm so glad that he's not.
I don't think, at the end of the day, I don't think Vince would sell to him anyway, since Vince has all the stopping power. He'd say, fuck that. No, there's no amount of money that will let me sell to them.
Yeah. I don't know. If there was something like Tony said, I'll make you head of creative, yes, he would. Because it ties into his end game. But Vince, man, I think, no, I didn't buy any shares yet. I'm going to wait until it goes down a little bit more because I'm going to buy a couple of shares of WWE. And then if it goes back to being a private company, then I'll be one of those investors in it. So hopefully I get to have some type of say, even if it's just my email going directly to Vince saying, you stupid piece of shit, it could have happened a lot better. Why you're so dumb? You know, he could read that and then he can cuss me out. I'll be okay with that because I will send a letter every week roasting his ass if he does this wrong.
Well, the last time I had checked, the price for stock for WWE, it was $92. At this moment, it is $89.
Yeah, I know. Actually, a couple of days ago, it was at 82. Because I'm serious. I was really looking at that like, man,
It's five below stock at 190. Whatever.
What you mean? Is that 190?
Yeah.
Oh, I can tell you why. Because their model, how can I say it? They got the similar business model as Dollar General or Family Dollar. What they do is that they rent out space, and they're not in charge of any of the maintenance and anything of the building. So anything goes wrong, they're in charge of it. They don't really pay any of the bills that goes into it. All they do is stock and they put their name on stuff. So if you don't have to worry about maintenance and all you have to worry about is purchasing from your vendors and your hourly staff, and think about it, how many times have you seen 3 or 4 people at Family Dollar or Five Below? They're keeping it at a minimum of how many people are there.
Yeah.
So all they're doing is giving away about, I want to say 35, 40, or I want to say 45, maybe 50 an hour at the most. They're giving away 50 an hour. And so all of that just comes back as profit, which is the opposite of McDonald's. And I'm sorry, this is not an investment podcast, but yeah, McDonald's is real estate. They purchase the land. So when they purchase the land, whenever they decide to put a McDonald's on it, they pay for everything. The company pays for everything. The franchisor is renting out the land that is owned by McDonald's, and that's how they make their money. So think about it. If this one McDonald's is bringing in a couple million a year, let's say 5 million, but 2 million goes towards the land, they made $2 million in profit. Because who's buying it? Who's buying the food? The franchise is buying the food. The corporation is not buying the food. They're just holding the land that you are building on. So you get 5 million, you pay 2 million to them. They make 2 million in profit and everything, and they have thousands of McDonald's.
True. There are more McDonald's than anything ever.
So that's where they're getting their money at. So, but yeah, off of investments, is there any other big news that has happened?
Not really. Nothing at all.
Yeah, this is about to be a crazy year, people.
Oh, just strap in and get ready for the ride.
Don't be surprised if you see a name that you never thought you saw with Freddie Prinze Jr. being. Yeah, I was going to create my own wrestling promotion, but I decided to buy WWE. That's one thing. If ABC buys, if so I keep saying ABC, if Disney buys WWE, expect that writing to be crazy. Because they're going to get rid of the regular writers. They're going to bring in their writers that is going to be good for about 3 years. And then because Disney allegedly don't care about any of their creative staff, you're going to see another turnaround. And then in 3 years, it's going to probably be okay. And so, yeah, it's going to be, if that writing happens, oh, God. It's like the writing will be good, but then think about all the cameos that they're gonna do, all of the guest appearances and all that shit, and it'd be WWE back in the 2010s again, the first few years.
Yeah,
all the celebrity hosts and all of that. Robert Downey Jr. just comes in and stroll in with his little Iron Man suit on and everything. Like, man, we don't need you here. You're in a whole different universe.
all of a sudden somebody's gonna break Dolph Ziggler's jaw again. Like who plays Logan?
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
It's just it'll be bad. It'll be bad. We would get a Ryan Reynolds cameo though. That would be kind of awesome.
Give us Deadpool.
Deadpool in the WWE. He might actually kill somebody. it would only work with Bray Wyatt though. But yeah,
very, very true.
So, do you have any big predictions of how this year is going to go for wrestling? I already said that we might get I said that my prediction is that we're going to get WWE and AEW in some type of pay-per-view that is an American base.
Nope. I have no predictions right now. I'm just enjoying the ride.
All right. So let me ask you this question then, because do you think Cody is getting the belt this year?
Yes. The way that they are giving him like the Triple H comeback promos, they have to. Not no IC title, not no US title, Universal WWE title, or at least one of them.
I would say this, because I've been thinking about it. And as much as I would love to see Cody get that WWE championship, I don't feel like it's earned. I know that it's like, well, you don't feel like it's earned. He's done a lot in wrestling to get himself over. That is a given. He has earned a title reign. He has earned it. But in WWE, came back, did a great story, got injured, been out for the rest of the year. I do not want him to come back to just win a title. What I want is him have another WrestleMania moment, put on a 5-star match with Roman Reigns, because I know it's possible. I want him to lose. And I want him to, because he doesn't have the championship, it's not like the Bianca Belair story, but it kind of is. Let that build for the entire next year of it gotta be him this year coming up. Him getting through the bloodline, him going through everybody else, him they want to throw a title on him. He's like, no, I want this one. He fights and he goes through the pay-per-views and he goes through hell to get that WrestleMania moment in 2024, and that would be the one where he holds it. And because it will feel earned. We went on this journey with him. We've been robbed of a year of Cody going for it. Because honestly, after the Seth Rollins thing, I think that's where his next stop was going to be. But we were that much of a build-up to that moment, to him having his WrestleMania moment. I think that he wins the Royal Rumble, or he wins the Elimination Chamber for his shot. If they do the Elimination Chamber. But if they don't, he wins the Royal Rumble. He gets his WrestleMania moment. He loses. It breaks the spirit. It starts the whole decline of the bloodline, with that being the peak moment. The moment where fans thought he was going to lose it. He doesn't lose it. That is the peak. And then that'll be the start of the decline. Now you can do the whole Sammy, like it could be Sammy interfering and him and Roman Reigns really actually getting pissed at that moment because he felt like he didn't need it. And that could be the start of the decline. And then that can be Kevin Owens coming in and then starting to go for the championship against the Usos. That can be, it can play out. Solo being into, honestly, and I thought about this and I almost forgot about it. He loses, right?
Mm-hmm.
He comes back on Raw, right? And he does a promo. Roman Reigns come out. It's like, bro, what are you doing? You lost. You get to the back of the line. He was like, listen, man, I'll go through every one of them boys right there, right now. You give me Sammy. You can bring the Usos down here. Matter of fact, send Solo. And it had to be like, oh shit, he had his own Sin Hook moment. And that could be like Solo's thing.
Solo coming out party.
Yeah. Sin Solo. And you know, all the AEW, all the people that watch WWE and AEW is gonna be like, Sin Solo, just like how they did Sin Hook.
Send a Solo.
Yeah. Oh, and that'll be a callback to the CM Punk and AEW, which could lead to CM Punk possibly coming back. But nah, that's a whole nother thing. Because honestly, I'm pissed. And I know what I'm going on, but I'm really upset that we are about to lose FTR.
Well, they are taking some time off for a few months, but then their
contract is up in
April.
Yep. So we're losing them in January. We're losing them in February. We might lose them in March. And then they just might decide to go do indies for their last run.
I don't think this is the end.
They said whatever they're going to do is going to be the last thing they do. They said that. So we just got robbed out of the CMFTR trios going against the Elite. When I saw that on Twitter, like CMFTR, I was like, you know what? If it all becomes water under the bridge, that'd be a great redemption story for CM Punk. Because CM Punk needs a redemption story. When he first retired, it was like, oh yeah, it was WWE's fault. This time it's like, well, maybe it wasn't WWE because of how you act right now. But if he comes back and is water under the bridge and they kayfabe the hate, like, yeah, I said it was water under the bridge, but I actually just said that so I can come back in because I want to kill all three of you. It had to be like the best. And CM Punk and FTR running the faces / heels, because I would love to see them as a heel. I'm mad that I missed out on heel Punk. I hated this babyface Punk. And Chris was telling me.
It's more of a tweener.
Yeah.
He was just a face because people wanted to cheer him. It wasn't really because.
Like Bryan Danielson?
Yeah.
Because Bryan Danielson was like, he was playing heel, but everybody loved him. So they was like, oh, this is just a badass face. Like, no, he was playing heel. He was heel. Y'all just cheered him. But yeah, to get a real heel CM Punk, though, I would want to see that.
God, I love watching Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. I could watch them forever. Because they just hit the shit out of each other.
Yeah. That, man. I don't even know why I'm not watching it right now. I got this big ass TV in front of me. It's just powered off. Because I didn't want to lose focus. That's what that
got you. Makes
but yeah.
sense.
But yeah, so
Well, it'll be on Hulu later tonight.
yeah. But back to predictions. My prediction outside of that is that Cody does not win this year. I want him to have a great year where he is there for the majority of the time, to where when he wins it, it'll be the ultimate story. And I think Cody will want that too. Like, even if he gets it, like if they throw it on him, I swear to you, I promise you, you will hear like he felt like he didn't earn it. And because he felt like he didn't earn it, he's going to put everything on the line. He is going to put his blood on the line. He's going to put his sweat. You know, you got the list. The sweat.
Pectoral muscles.
My pectoral muscle. I gotta do it for Dusty. Gotta do it for the American dream. Like, yeah. So, but I think that Cody wants to earn it.
Oh, yeah, I guess we'll see. Because he'll be back. I'll say he'll be back for the Rumble. And the Rumble's in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's definitely coming back for the Rumble. I think that it will be a big mistake to have The Rock in the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
Bring him back like how y'all did Austin. Have him night one versus Roman Reigns for the head of the table. There ain't no belt on the line, just the respect of the family. Who's really the head? Have Rock do interviews on today's show and all of that before y'all even make this a real thing where he's just talking smack about Roman Reigns, how much he loves him, but he's always little cousin. You know, he's always going to be the runt to me. This, that, and the third. And just build it up like that. Because if you just bring him back and he just has a couple of matches and then that's it, I don't think that it would be earned either.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And
I'd rather not see The Rock regardless. I'm okay with if he is or if he isn't. Doesn't bother me none.
Whatever. He's the fucking head of the table. Think about the promo. Now that Roman is who he is, the promos between those two can get personal. Like,
you're Rudy Poo.
Nah, it's gonna be like, hey, you're still living in the past, Rock. You still living in the past, Dwayne. We not kids no more. Like, like daddy can't save you. Like him doing all of that to The Rock, son in The Rock. Oh God. Another prediction is that MJF is going to lose the title this year. And I think and I hope that he loses it on a technicality so he can always win it back. Like, oh no, it didn't do this. And so the belt is still mine. To the point where it's Bryan Danielson versus MJF at All Out. I got another prediction, and I just said it. My prediction is that MJF loses the title this year, but not a legitimate loss. One of the losses where the ref counted him 3 and his foot was on the thing, and so he gets it back, or whatever technicality to get it back to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
To where it's a match, and I want to say Bryan Danielson be the guy to have this long feud story with, unless CM Punk comes back, then we could rehash that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that there's going to be something like that, some wacky ass loss, because I do not want to see MJF do like 3 matches this year. I want him to be in more matches.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest worry. The only way
I feel like he'll be in more matches. Just right now, it's just him playing the hill. Eventually, they're like, all right, gotta go. But I mean, he's still like doing the movies and stuff like that. So you want to make sure they're just being on the safer side.
Yeah.
So
I get that. I get that. And I completely forgot that he was about to be in this movie. So yeah, he's doing a lot right now. But I hope that movie comes out in 2024, not 2023. Because if it comes out in 2023, it'll be a hell of a lot less. Because
Raw is getting X-rated. Sorry.
How is Raw getting X-rated?
They have it Raw. Raw's going triple X because Raw 30. It's his 30th anniversary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can we please put that on the pay-per-view and see some puppies? That's the only way that I respect it. Bring Jerry Lawler back. Bring some puppies out.
They're not going to do that.
No, they can't.
They're trying to sell to Disney.
If they put it on FX, they could. Yeah. Put it on the FXXX. Let that happen. There was somebody that I just watched, and we're about to get off because there ain't really much else to talk about. But I want to give a shout out to a lot of these indie wrestlers. Shout out to G.I. Jane. I just came across your page, and I just want to let you know that I think you're awesome. I'm gonna show CT who G.I. Jane is.
Yeah, because I was so confused. I was like, we're talking about Lacey Evans?
No, there's a wrestler, and I gotta find her page again. But there's a wrestler. She calls herself G.I. Jane. And when I tell you, when you see her, you're gonna be like, that is what's up. Oh, what did you think about Mercedes Mone coming out like Jade Cargill?
I didn't see it like her coming out like Jade Cargill.
I mean, it wasn't like, okay, she came out as her own thing, but when she came out, she did her little stance and everything, like Jade and the whole all of that.
That's what she does in the WWE as well.
That must have been early in the WWE
because she always does the.
No, she does that, but when she stood in there like she poked her chest out and everything, like how Jay does, with the arms and everything out. And I was like, is she hinting? Is she hinting on whose side she would be on when she comes out?
Is she a baddie?
I mean, she definitely is. There ain't nothing else to say about that. She definitely is. Why are they not? Okay.
Oh man,
I'm closing out and I'm gonna send you this. But
right.
Yeah. Another great episode in the books.
Bang bang.
Thank y'all for listening. Want to let y'all know, if nobody told you they love you, I love you. Nobody said that you're awesome. We think that you're awesome. We ask that you continue to do what it is that you love doing, which is watching, participating, talking about wrestling. CT, if you are not on TikTok,
I'm not.
Get on TikTok because Wrestle Talk is fucking phenomenal. They're like
so much.
No, listen. You get on Wrestle Talk, you're gonna be like, oh shit, I can just come here all day. Like, I get into it later, but
Okay.
keep watching wrestling. Hop on Wrestle Talk. Check us out on Instagram and all of that. We just
Don't
want you
forget
to,
again to like, subscribe, and leave comments on our IG, Twitter, and our YouTube page.
yes. So, but until next time, peace. We love you. Have a good night.
Yup.
All right.